webinar on Invest Saudi. This will be one of the series of the webinars that we will have, and we have a rich content, and we've got a guest today for this presentations and outcome of this. We have a guest with His Excellency. His name Ahmed AlYahya. He is representative and senior leader on the Ministry of Investment side of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We also have a guest speaker, Imran Qureshi, with subject matter expertise in the project management, work in the kingdom as an expat for over 10 years, handling and delivering large projects, infrastructure projects in the kingdom and different cities. And he would kind of echo what he has learned and share his experience to the audience. As said, as much as information that we would be highlighting today, His Excellency Ahmed would be delivering this presentation, and he would also emphasize on few other areas that we would be pursuing in the next sessions in the month of November and December, as we have a very rich content today. Just before I hand the microphone, I would like just to mention with great thanks to Global Chamber for hosting this event and growing community of CEOs, executives, leaders, investors, professionals in more than 525 metro cities across 190 countries. So what Global Chamber brings is help members successfully grow and contacts and network broader. Founded in 2014, and the mission is to grow business everywhere in many cities over the globe. The members are typically, they are exporters, they are entrepreneurs, they are service providers, government agencies, and investors. At the Global Chamber, there are a few challenges in today's business, but they'd like to solve some of these challenges: lack of connections and target markets, difficulties navigating local regulations, trust issues with global partners, and a bit of credibility when going abroad. Basically, the kind of context of the Global Chamber is touching exporters, as I mentioned, more of connectivities, gaining visibility through events and so forth. They also provide service providers like meeting globals who need services, specific services or needs, to entering to new markets, such as today is one of the examples that we are having this session. And also connection to the investors and economy system of the partners, accessing to emerging markets and so forth. So with due respect, then we would hand over the microphone and presentation to Mr. Ahmed, and he will be highlighting information and content on why and opportunities on investing in Saudi Arabia. Your Excellency Ahmed, please, the floor is yours. I'm sure he's just taking a few minutes just to put the slides on and for his presentation. If you need any help, Ahmed, let us know. Is Ahmed there?
Yes. Mr. Ahmed, you can unmute yourself. Yeah, please. You are unmute, but we cannot hear you.
So while Mr. Ahmed comes on board, I'll just give you a bit of Saudi highlights. Saudi Arabia, allow me, Mr. Ahmed, just a minute maybe to do that introduction. So Saudi Arabia ranked 17th in the year 2025 in the IMD World Competitiveness Ranking. And that was compared to 2023, it was ranked 32nd, and in 2022 was 24th, so it's a big jump, number 17th. And the country's position is supported by strong governance, improved infrastructure, and economic diversification, which continue to drive long-term growth with their vision of 2030. The ranking also reflects improvement in economic performance of the government, efficiency, business efficiency, transparency, and infrastructure driven, as I said, by Vision 2030. And they have got a lot of ambitions, and they won few awards such as hosting the Expo and hosting the World Cup and so forth. So I think Mr. Ahmed is now ready.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So thank you for the introduction, and thank you for inviting me and having me here speak to such honorable guests. So I'd like to start by greeting everyone, and I'm really delighted to welcome you today to this session. We promote investment in Saudi, as clearly you can see on the screen. My name is Ahmed, and I represent the Ministry of Investment of Saudi Arabia, which we call it for short MISA. Before joining MISA, I was working in Saudi Aramco, so I understand. Let's say I was on the other side of making the deals and making the investment, so I understand the challenges and the obstacles that an investor have to consider, and the risk that involves investment abroad. So over the next 20 minutes, we will explore Saudi Arabia evolving investment landscape. I'll also shed the light on the support that we provide to investors and how, with the new reforms that MISA have implemented, we came up a long way to open up our economy and create opportunities for investments, not only for the local investors, but for the global investors alike. So just to start, let me just put this in full screen. So, or is it clear as is, or do you think it's better to put it in?
I think full screen would be better.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, in a nutshell, Saudi Arabia had untapped economy up until the announcement of Vision 2030. I know that you have a perception about our country, and this is the norm. I think we all have a perception, give or take, or about different regions, about different economies as well. But what we are trying to do today is ensure that the perception we have reflects the reality on the ground. So Saudi Arabia is more than what you can imagine, and that's the realization that you can say was the momentum or the underlying reason of launching Vision 2030. Vision 2030 is really a transformational vision, and we know that it is a journey. It's just the beginning, and we are in the next few years, we will also finalize Vision 2040, which is going to take us further in terms of economy and social as well. So the pillars of Vision 2030, as you can see on the screen, it's to have a vibrant society, enhance the quality of life, also to have a thriving economy where we increase our international and global competitiveness. We increase the FDI as a percentage of the total GDP, while also increasing our GDP as well. As you know, Saudi Arabia is well known for its natural resources. So we had huge dependence on oil. But as we stand today, I'm very happy to be part of this change and to have realized the change that is on the ground, and on the low prices of oil that we see today, the GDP is 50% non-oil and 50% based on oil revenues. We think that there is a room to improve in this, and we are always revising those numbers as we are an ambitious nation, and we're trying to enhance the public sector performance. And I mean, I'm not making this up, but I was just before joining, I was in another meeting with one of the largest VC investors coming to visit the kingdom, and the visit started yesterday, and today we have about 40 startups and VCs just to meet and have a discussion around the topic, and the involvement is at the highest level. Yesterday we had His Excellency the Minister, and today we have His Excellency the Assistant Minister to guide the discussion on this subject. So we ask the question, and I think this is also what drives us to focus on investment. What is our value proposition? What Saudi Arabia has differently to offer to the world? We think that our economy is very robust. We are the first largest economy in the MENA region. We are the second lowest. We have the second lowest debt to GDP among the G20 countries. We are also first population growth among the G20 countries in 2022. And we also have the second lowest inflation rate among the G20. Just maybe one thing here to also give you some flavor. Our population is 35 million, and 15 million of those are expat. So we welcome expat. We are an open economy. We are an open culture. I mean, we are aware of the challenges that we had, and we are not trying to hide those. We understand that the social reform that happened was necessary. And I honestly speaking, myself, and maybe we even talked with this as a team, I mean, when the announcement of Vision 2030 came about, I mean, we were confident that it is going to be realized, and that the goals that have set for us are going to be realized, because it depends on our economy and our resources, which we have plenty of. But what I really had think that it is going to be challenging is the social reform. But I would really invite you, and would be more than happy to host you here in the kingdom, because I think even if what I'm going to say here today and what you hear about our country, but when you come and see the vibe on the ground, it is unprecedented, and the change is amazing, the spirit is amazing, and we have a lot to accomplish, yet a lot to achieve as well. Again, just to continue on the other matrix here, we are the 19th largest economy globally in 2023, and we are the 7th in FDI net inflows in 2022. And this reflects the trust and the lucrative opportunities that are available in the kingdom, because I'm sure you are aware that FDIs have been slowing down in the last 5 years. However, we have been showing a steady improvement year over year. We are also the second largest GDP per capita among the G20, and the 7th largest foreign asset reserve globally is in the kingdom. So what gives us our uniqueness, and how can we capitalize on that, was one of the most important questions to ask and to answer as well. And given our strategic location, we are really, Saudi Arabia is at the hub of a global crossroads. We have access to 29 airports. We have 10 seaports, and we are within 7 hours of over 80% of the world's population. And that's what we are trying to capitalize on and promote to the world. So now let me get into more what we did at MISA to enhance the investment ecosystem. So to start, once we had the vision and the ambitious goals announced, we then worked at, or the reason to establish MISA, because MISA is like a 4 years old ministry. Before it was SAGA, which is basically the Saudi Arabian Investment Authority to attract foreign investors. But we thought that what has been done is great, but there were a lot of areas to improve and to capitalize on as well. So we introduced the National Investment Strategy. And what we did in the National Investment Strategy is basically we had an ambitious goal of growing our GDP. So for any economy to grow the GDP, there needs to be an investment done into that economy. And given that we are trying to open our economy, we cannot only depend on the government to do everything. And I'm sure you as an investor, you understand that the private sector sometimes is best equipped to really take the economy to the next level and open up the economy for investments, for innovation, and so forth. So the goal that was set for us is to reach a cumulative total investment of more than $3.2 trillion by 2030. I know the number is huge, but we had different initiatives that helped us execute and implement on this ambitious target. So first we start by in the development of the National Investment Strategy, we had 4 pillars, which is basically focus on the investment opportunities. For us to attract investment to the kingdom, those investment opportunities have to be lucrative, rewarding, profitable, and also focus on different sectors and different investor segment as well. We also need to focus on funding. So we removed a lot of financial barriers to investments, and we continue to also explore and push the limits on that regard. In fact, today I am mandated to work with different government entities to find ways to attract more private equity firms, understand the challenges that they face. I'm sure regulation, taxation is very important when it comes to especially private equity investment and all investments alike. But we are going through all regulations and we challenge all of those. And we as a collective government entities try to measure the impact that would happen from removing or enhancing some of the barriers, whether to taxation or financing or regulations in general. We are also trying to create a competitive and enabling environment. So we understand that some sectors might be challenging to invest in Saudi Arabia, given that, for example, just to shed some light, I'm sure you heard about Saudi Arabia's offer to produce its first car in 2026. And while working on that project, we have been able to attract different investors in that space. However, the concern that they had is we need our suppliers to come with us. So how could we incentivize the environment to be accommodating for not only tier 1, but only tier 2, tier 3, and their suppliers as well? Because what you want is to create an ecosystem, not only a big investment or a mega project that we already have plenty of. And we understand that it's important for the economy, but also having a value chain of services and suppliers for industrial is very important. So the economy, and then in the ministry, what we did is we identified the most important sectors that will ensure economic diversification and that also is suitable with our value proposition as well. So those are the sectors that we are targeting. Some of those sectors are encompass subsectors underneath them. So in total, there are 22. What you see in the screen is 15, but we have, like in tourism and quality of life, for example, we have tourism, we have entertainment, we have culture as well. So some of those culture encompasses more than one sector. But I would like to maybe take some time here to explain what we did in those sectors. So each sector, for example, let's say tourism, for example. So we have a target of 150 million visits per year by 2030. And for us to achieve that number, we understand that we need hotel rooms, we need air connectivity, we need also public transportation and other public services to make that possible. So for the tourism, for example, we take the full value chain of that sector, okay? And when I say the full value chain, we start from the agents that markets destination in different countries, and we go to the most granular level of details, reaching out to even, for example, providing bed sheets, cleaning bed sheets to those big and giant hotels. Maybe, I mean, and this, to be honest, I faced it myself. I mean, at the beginning, when I joined MISA here and looked at those sector investment plan, which we invested a lot of time and resources into it. When you look at the value chain, you'd be surprised sometimes. I mean, and I'm sure maybe if someone is from the same sector would understand what I'm talking about, but you would be surprised sometimes that some of the services get overlooked. As I mentioned in the tourism, for example, our biggest pain point today, and that is the cleaning services and hygiene of the bed sheets and towels, etc. So it presents an opportunity for investors there. We know that there is a gap in that area. So from that, we establish an opportunity. We call it an opportunity card. In the opportunity card, we will explain to the investor the challenge, the value proposition that is required to conduct such investment and be successful in our economy. And we also share the numbers that are very important for investors to conduct their financial analysis and make a decision about investing in Saudi. We also have a very big opportunities within tourism, for example, when it comes to Red Sea. So we have the Red Sea is an amazing untapped virgin islands on the Red Sea. Honestly speaking, even me myself, I haven't been to them until we saw some momentum and some activities going on. But when we made sure we are lucky to have such great leadership. But our leader, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, insisted that those islands be developed while maintaining and ensuring that the nature is preserved, ensuring that it is done in a sustainable way and that it doesn't have an impact on the environment. While this increased the cost, and me as coming from a finance profession, sometimes we favor financial figures on other metrics, but he was very strict about this rule. And the reason I'm bringing those examples is just to show you the spectrum of investment opportunities within each of those sectors. The financial services, for example, have a huge opportunity as well. Saudi Arabian financial services was dependent on our economy, and we did not have a lot of activities abroad, whether importing those activities or exporting. But we now have we are in meetings and in a continuous improvement with even the central bank to see how we can introduce a sandbox concept. How can we have, as we speak today, we have 3 of the major banks have an e-wallet that you can just go online, download and authenticate and everything. We also have an amazing e-government. I used to study in the US, and I've been exposed to different governments and different systems, but what we have in the region is unprecedented. I mean, you can go into the e-government services platform and issue your passport while you are sitting at home. I renewed my ID just a year ago with just taking a picture from my phone and having my ID updated and renewed. Then I just went to my financial institution. I log in there, and it connects and it talks. Those systems talks to each other, and within a click of a button, everything is updated and reflected on the system. We also know and understand that setting business is very lengthy journey, and it takes a lot of consideration. So the e-services platform that was applicable to nationals for their IDs, for their passports, we developed a similar platform for investors as well. So you can register your business within 24 hours. We have eased a lot of regulations. In fact, we have made over 500 reforms to ensure that the environment is more attractive and more supportive of investors. We also extended support that is not only in terms of regulation and ease of doing business, but also access to financing. So we have an export credit financing, guarantees and insurance as well. We are also for investments that require a huge investment and a huge funding. We may work with government entities, like, for example, the Saudi Industrial Development Fund. We have an infrastructure fund. We have a tourism development fund. So we have different funds that are national and that's supportive to investors. What we look for, and I'm sure you can understand the rationale behind that. We sit with the investor. We try to understand what is making their investment. What would make their investment profitable? What would make it rewarding to them? How can we provide access to different regions, different continents? Sometimes investors realize those benefits, but the project could be facing some challenging financial, so making it low IRR, low return of investment. So what we do in that sense is we sit together, we try to either find you a funding partner, or we find you a local partner if you are interested. I mean, I just want to emphasize on this. A local partner is not required as per the regulations of Saudi Arabia. But if this is going to, or if this is what you are looking for, some companies approach us saying that we need somebody on the ground who understand the business and understand the community, understand the culture. So we are more than happy to connect you with different partners from different sectors. You can sit with them, have this discussion, and choose for yourself. We don't we don't have any say on that. We don't guide you to one investor versus the other, but we try to facilitate that discussion. But just going back to the point where we try to extend support, not only when it comes to financing, but also some incentives might be granted to projects that will have a huge impact on the GDP, or will create a number of jobs to locals, because this is going to be supporting the economy as well. There are also some regulations related to for example, the Saudization, which require a percentage of the workforce to be Saudis. We can work with the Human Development Ministry to see what is the right mix of Saudization for your entity. And based on their study, based on their analysis, for example, some of the investors have approached us and say we are in the construction phase, so we don't require locals for this period of time. So we get them an exception for that purpose. So basically what we do in MISA is support you. We are like a business partner. We like to shake hand at the beginning, but we don't stop at that. We continue to be partners until we see you successful. And we hope that you don't require any support from us, but we are more than happy to provide that. And we understand that the success of you as an investor is the best, how to say this, the success of you as an investor is the best proof that the economy is welcoming, the economy is rewarding as well.
If I could add, Your Excellency, so I mean, we are operating as a private sector in the kingdom and working with our government there in the kingdom. So it's working very good model where the government is putting new legislations and policies, and we being the private sector there enabling and making this connection. And we, as Excellency mentioned, that we also get some sort of inquiries where we could try to connect them and advise them to take or to connect with the local family businesses, with the local operators there, where we can find them the matching, and then they could explore. I mean, getting into new markets, you need to network, and we likewise in the kingdom we have a lot of business groups and business councils that are operating, and their also aim is to support their countries where their companies are coming from, to host them in the kingdom. So we always connect with those business councils and between the government and between the business community.
Well said, Adel. I think we don't spare any chance to support, and we actually look forward, and we are happy to. Maybe, by the way, Adel, I think this is important to mention here before we reach the end of our webinar. I don't know how many of you have visited our region, but and of course I am biased, and maybe it is not the best way to communicate this, but we have a very welcoming, very hospitable culture. And you will hear stories that really amazes you. But this is our culture. This is who we are, and we are proud of it. I met someone in Denmark, and I was in the hotel and the gym, and he asked me, where are you from? I said, I'm from Saudi. And he said, my brother just came from Saudi, and something strange happened. So I was interested to hear, and to be honest, he got me excited in the way he said it. And he said his brother was in Saudi Arabia, and he was in Uber. And when he got in Uber, he talked with the driver, and the discussion got just about their families and stuff like that. So they felt the connection and the warmth of the discussion. And the Uber driver said, I'm not going to take money from you. You are just my friend now, and you are visiting my country, so you don't pay me anything. He kept insisting until he paid him. But he said, I'll take it in one condition, that you call me tomorrow when you need another ride. So the guy called him, and he got him to his destination, but then he gave him a box. Inside this box was a gift for his family. So I'm not saying that we are all like that, because if we are, I think we are all going to be broke. But this is an example of how our culture is, how welcoming the people are.
Maybe, Your Excellency, if you allow me, we've got a real case with a British expat worth more than 10 years. So Imran is there with us today. If he could just share the entry and the business relations and the culture, how this context, maybe in a few minutes, and then by that time, maybe Your Excellency can also get ready and wrapping up in 10 minutes so we can open the floor to the questions and answers. So
Sure.
Imran, you can maybe join us on this conversation.
Oh, thank you, Excellency, and thank you, Adil. So yes, I'm from UK, been 30 years working in the corporate world, mainly in project management and strategy. So I've been in Saudi Arabia for 10 years. My first project was Riyadh Metro. I did come from a sort of transport background from other rail projects. So alhamdulillah, I can tell you firsthand, it's been very welcoming from all the projects I've worked on. The very leading edge with a good mix of cultures, and the Saudi clients have been very welcoming and very professional. So I've been really enjoying my environment here and my time. More recently, I've been involved in winning projects, and that's been fantastic working with all the PIF companies. And there's an amazing growth here, as you can see just on my screen. There's just some information about the growth of Saudi Arabia and where the market's gone from 2016, where it was 1.1 trillion, to 2025. It's about 1.982 trillion. So we can see a massive growth, and you can see the sectors where this growth is now predominant, which is design. If you look on the left, bottom left graph, you can see design and execution. This is where most of the projects are. And if you look at the sectors, construction is nearly half of the growth there, it's half of the budget. And the other sectors, transport, industrial, water, chemical, gas. So I've had an amazing time because of the massive growth that I'm witnessing, and I'm part of as well. I mean, I've also recently got my premium residency, alhamdulillah, as a special talent. So I'm now feeling more part of the fabric of Saudi Arabia and of these projects that I'm involved in. So it's been an excellent ride, and I hope to continue and continue growing in this country.
Thank you.
So if you allow me to continue. Yeah. So I'll just got a few more slides really, just to touch upon the projects and the clients. So for all the new businesses coming in, just so they get an idea of the type of clients and contractors that are working in the country right now in Saudi Arabia. So it's no surprise Saudi Aramco is from the top 15 clients at about 0.8 billion. So, and then you've got NEOM, Saudi Electric Company, National Housing Company. They've got big projects. They've got a big project in Medina as well. Saudi Water Authority, Qiddiya and Diriyah, of course. Roshan has got a big housing project also. So there is a big push right now for housing, for power and electric projects, water projects, and entertainment projects. Looking on the right side, you've got the top main contractors. Now, this is just a general across all projects, not particularly any industry. So you've got L&T at the top there, and then you've got Hyundai, Samsung, E&A, WeBuild. What you'll realize from this list, and of course, Alfana is a very big local company here. What you'll realize from this list that these numbers show you the amount of effort that's being put into the country and into the construction, and the type of projects and work that can be sought from these type of clients. So I think this gives you an idea where businesses should be focusing when it comes to contractors and clients. And just a list of the top upcoming projects. So you can see nuclear power reactors is a big here in Saudi Arabia. You've got the NEOM City, Community Village, King Hamad Causeway. So for transportation and roads, there is a big project, there's land bridge, and there's a lot of causeway and road projects in Saudi Arabia. You've got the Riyadh Metro Line 7 Phase 1, which is being done by Riyadh City, Royal Commission for Riyadh City, RCRC. And you have renewable energy projects. We go to the next slide. Looking at the construction, I'm sort of now focusing a bit more on the construction sector. Obviously, as His Excellency mentioned, there are a number of sectors, entertainment, etc. But now I'm just looking at the construction one. So if you look at construction, you've got 20,000 housing units being developed by NHC, National Housing Company, by 2028. So that's a huge project, as you can see. Qiddiya project, there's a resort, speed park, and Six Flags, I believe, is going to open up very soon, by the end of this year. So they are also, Qiddiya Investment Company are also pushing for their projects. You have the Jeddah Central project, stadiums. Now, if you know, there's a big FIFA, of course, in 2034. You have the AFC, the Asian Football Club, in a football cup in 2027. So between these two projects, there'll be a number of stadiums that will be refurbished as well as developed. So contractors who are into technologies related to stadiums, to sports facilities, they are obviously, they should be focusing on these type of projects. Sports Boulevard is a good client for that. That's Zone 6 Riyadh Sports Boulevard. King Salman Park, Diriyah, of course, is the flagship project of Saudi Arabia, a very special project for Saudi Arabia. So Diriyah, DGDA, these are amazing projects which are, at their peak right now. And then you have Prince Mohammed bin Salman Stadium with Aramco Stadium. So these are new stadiums that are being built for 2020, for the 2034 FIFA. Now, for future clients you should look out for, this is just a list. Of course, it's not exhaustive. There's many more. But you have Innova, which is part of NEOM, and you have Saudi Aramco, of course, Diriyah company I mentioned, New Murabba, where we have the Q project, New Murabba Development Company. They've started their foundation work, so there's a lot of good work happening there. Ministry of Defense, of course, defense is a very big sector, and there's a lot of projects there. We have SAMI and we have THC, the helicopter company. Saudi Power Procurement Company, they have a lot of projects for laying gas pipelines and water pipelines all over the country. And you have Royal Commission for Jubail and Yambu, as well as for Makkah and Medina. You've got the Royal Commission for Makkah City and Jeddah Airport. So if you just go on to the next slide. So for 2026, it's my last slide. So I'll just do a little bit of a drill down into the type of projects the new companies could be focusing on. Obviously, people are coming from different sectors, and some are coming from trade, some are coming from services. But this just gives you an idea of the type of projects coming 2026 that could be a focus because they have a deadline, or there's a big need for them to complete on time, or they're quite advanced. King Salman International Airport. Obviously, we have the new airline, Riyadh Air, opening up as well. And King Salman is going to be a very major project for Saudi Arabia, a flagship aviation project. You have the Rise Tower, which is going to be the world's tallest tower that's going to be built, skyscraper. Then you have Jeddah Central Downtown Transformation, and this will be in preparation for the World Cup AFC as well, going into 2030 plus. Ru'a Al Medina, for those who know Makkah and Medina quite well, this is a big development outside the Haram of Medina, and this will have a residential and commercial mix and will serve millions of pilgrims on a yearly basis. Masar destination, you have Makkah. Again, this is a big development corridor, and for the Holy Mosque serving the Hajj and Umrah programs.
And the list continues. I appreciate it very much, Imran, for your contribution, sharing these things. And I think we are kind of a service provider. We've got the government where they're putting the policies, regulations, and attracting investment into the country. And with your experience and some of these projects and some of these cities that you've served in the kingdom, great effort and contribution today. And that's what we wanted to show, really. There are things happening on the ground. Back maybe to His Excellency, if we could wrap it in 5 to 10 minutes, and then we can open the floor for questions.
Sure. Let me just share my screen back. Okay, so I think the most important question to answer here today is how can MISA support you across your journey? So we have a one-stop shop approach, and we have different teams throughout the investment journey, from ideation to entry advisory. Also, second step is the government approvals. We facilitate the necessary approvals for various government entities. We are also able to get you in touch with the right entities to understand what are the requirements, to understand their strategy, where they see the economy heading, what is the hot investment areas, and so forth. Also, when it comes to registration and licensing, we assist you with the acquisition of all the required licensing and registration. We don't stop there, but we also help you with the operational setup, making sure that you are operational, and also assist in providing you the assistance necessary to navigate the HR requirement. And that's what we, that's like the cherry in the top, is when there is an expansion or reinvestment. You can also have our support and will definitely help in any way, shape or form to ensure that you have an ongoing growth and further investment in the kingdom. I'm sorry, I might go quickly over those slides just in interest of time. We also have the premium residency program. We have a dedicated, we agreed today that we will have a dedicated session where we will discuss the RHQ program, which is the regional headquarter program, as well as other programs and initiatives that support logistics investment and other services. But I'll just go through, I think the premium residency program is an important one. So we have the premium residency program, which is an application and a systematic process tailored for specific applicants' profiles. You can get the premium residency if you are a gifted resident, if you are an investor, if you are an entrepreneur, or if you are a real estate owner, as well as limited duration residency, unlimited duration residency, and special talent residency as well. So what are the eligibility criteria? So holding a commercial registration, registering in the National Investor Registry platform, having a minimum investment of 7 million Saudi Riyal, that's about $2 million. Also a payment of one-time fee of $4,000, 4,000 Saudi Riyal, which is around $1,000. The investor residency track is designed for serious investors seeking long-term presence in Saudi Arabia, and we will guide you through the process and also help with the requirements as well, and anything that's needed throughout the process. So what are the advantages of getting the premium residency? You have fee exemptions on expatriates and their dependents. You have the ability to reside with your family members, including parents, spouse, and children under 25 will be all covered under the premium residency program. You have the freedom to exit and return without requiring a separate visa. You have the right to conduct business in Saudi Arabia without any local partners. You have also the freedom to have to transfer between different entities, as we used before to have a single entity that sponsored expats, but now that is waived, and expats have the freedom to move from one entity to another. And at last, you have the right to own real estate in the kingdom. The way to apply is very simple. It's through MISA portal. I can share some of the information, and you can also find more information on our website. But basically, you go to the portal, you choose the residency scheme that matches your needs, and you create the application profile and submit your documents. Before I conclude, so we are here to provide investment consultation. We are here to help you conduct workshops if necessary with different players within the ecosystem, and we help you in establishing the relationship and supporting you in your investment. I would like to conclude with this slide. So basically, you have the contact information of the regional office program, the online platform, as well as my information in the far right of the slide. And I think this would conclude my presentation here. I think I talked a lot. I hope that I did not bore you, but I mean, if you have any questions, and I'll leave it to Adil to take the lead on managing the session going forward.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I mean, again, just before you ending, you talked about the premium visa. So again, we have Imran is also witnessing that he went through that kind of a cycle, and he got his premium visa. If you can talk about it in a minute, what is that for you as an expat that you got after working 10 years in the kingdom? You're on mute, I think.
Sorry, could you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, repeat that last part. Sorry, I missed that part. Sorry, could you repeat the last sentence?
No, I just said, share your experience that you
Okay,
work
sure.
them that kind of policy or regulation was not there, but now you got your premium visa. So what is it for you exactly? And
Sure. Mini means a lot to me, to be honest. It made a big change. Firstly, I can now buy properties, even though they're going to make an announcement, obviously, for expats and foreigners to purchase. I can actually purchase right now with my premium residency, even in places in Medina and Mecca. So alhamdulillah, it's a huge advantage, as well as I can have my full-time work because I came under the special talent, and also own a business, which is fully under my name, which again is an amazing opportunity for expatriates to have that ability to have a business whilst working full-time, which was unheard of before for expatriates. And alhamdulillah, I think there's many other advantages. There's no exit entry. We actually enter the country through the GCC line. We can have unlimited vehicles we can purchase. So there are many, many advantages. Obviously, there's no family tax either. So I've very, very much benefited with me and my whole family. We've all very benefited from this. And alhamdulillah, I'm very grateful to the Saudi government for allowing us expatriates to have this privilege from them.
Thank you. Thanks for the input again. Now, just before we go to the question and answers, Doug, are you there, Doug? Douglas? So he's the founder of the Global Chamber, and it's very early morning in San Francisco. Anything you want to add?
Oh, Adele, thank you very much, and Your Excellency, thank you for the great information. Very inspiring. So much opportunity here. Global Chamber, as you've already heard from Adele, is very focused in on supporting companies who are looking to invest and do business in the kingdom. Thank you for the opportunity to share. Thank you for the opportunity to share this information with our members. And we look forward to working with all of you to find the right investments for each of our members, and also to incorporate and to weave in those of you who are not yet involved with Global Chamber. Business is hard. General business is hard. And when you're doing it in a new country, even though there's so much opportunity, it makes it even more challenging in many ways to find the right people to connect to and the right information. So thank you, Adele. Thank you, Your Excellency, for your leadership. And we look forward to working with you going forward to increase the prosperity for all.
Thank you. Yeah, as His Excellency said, we're going to do 2 more sessions, one in November, one December. So the November we'll be covering on the regional headquarter companies program that the kingdom is offering, and in December we'll highlight on the global supply chain resilience initiative. That's a national investment strategy initiatives from the kingdom. So we have a lot to say, but with the time constraints. So Rika, if you can just jump into the questions and we can arrange the flow.
Sure. I'll start right away. One of the questions is from Ahmed Nishat. It says the investment of 7 million can be created from inside the kingdom, or has it to come from other countries for PR?
So for the premium residency, so you as a foreigner will bring in the investment from outside the kingdom. Whether if, for example, if a foreigner have this amount in the kingdom, then that's also possible. But it has to be linked to an individual, and the money has to be invested, and that's all the requirements is about. It doesn't matter where it's coming, but it needs to be. So, for example, if your question is if you are a partner with a Saudi local, then it's not going to count. But if it's coming from your account, whether local or international, then you qualify for the premium residency program.
Great, thank you. Another question by Ariq Azad is, what are MISA approved entities that we can work with to set up a foreign owned startup via the entrepreneur license? Is it mandatory to have support letter from a Saudi accelerator?
Well, we have, so one of the sectors that we have, which was, I mean, and going back to my comment when I say some of the sectors encompasses more than one sector underneath that, the human capital sector, under that sector, there is an innovation and startup. And I'm more than happy to connect you with the right people there. Getting a license is not a sophisticated or complex thing to do, but to be honest with you, the requirements for the entrepreneurial licensing is best answered by the relevant team, which I can provide you the information or the contact if you would like me to do so.
Thank you. This is a different question than we generally get. It's what majors do you recommend for Saudi high school students to pursue in college, and which fields are in demand for Vision 2030? So I believe there are students who've joined as well.
Well, this is actually excellent to have students thinking about what majors and what areas to study and to specialize in. Unfortunately, I hope I have the answers to this question, but I think we are, especially with the changes that are going on the global stage, we have very dynamic economies all around the world, with AI being a major game changer. But what I would recommend here is going with something that you like doing. I know sometimes this may sound dramatic or sounds like you are saying something from the perfect world, but I had this question when I was in high school, and I asked my uncle, "What is it better to be a doctor or to major in something else?" His answer was being the best at your field, even if you are doing a low-skilled job, such as a janitor, okay, it's better than being a doctor in a job that you don't like. Because if you don't love what you are doing, you are not going to excel. You are not going to be. You are not going to keep evolving on that, and you will limit yourself.
I got the best answer for this one based on my personal experience is go for volunteer. So in Saudi Arabia, this country, you can use the National Volunteer Portal to find opportunities based on your interests and skills. So when you do volunteers, you're gonna tap into a few different sectors. So by going there and meeting people, by doing things, you will learn as you go. So that's my best answer, and I have experienced it very well.
Exactly, because by the way, I think doing something that you don't like is also good, because you at least now know that this is not something that you would like to keep doing for the rest of your life. So I mean, I second you, Adil. I think getting a sense of what this job like or what this field like is very important.
Amazing. Thank you. So there are a couple of questions which are related to investments and structure. So I'm just going to put one question. What they want to look at is investments, incentives, tax incentives, if they exist, the investment structure, if there are, for example, free zones, etc. So if you could briefly touch upon it. I know you did touch upon a lot of it during your webinar as well, but if you can probably focus on it, it would be great.
Sure. So we have different free zone areas, or special economic zone areas. We call them SZE. Those are different areas. One is focused on energy, for example, which is in the eastern region, and there is another one that's focused on automotive manufacturing, which is in the western region, and then we have another one that's focused on logistics next to Riyadh International Airport. Each of those is a free or special economic zone would have a different treatment. And would also offer a different set of privileges that you can benefit from. I think it will all depend on what industry you are in and what challenges are you facing. In terms of tax incentives, we do have an incentives program, but that would depend, as I said, on what are you bringing to the country. Because for us as a center of government, the way they look at it is we want to unlock different, I mean, if it's up to us, we want to unlock everything today, okay? But we understand that there is some things that you cannot do at once. You have to do it gradually. So if I have an investor who is going to help me achieve on that goal or on that objective, then definitely this is something that we will study. There is a special committee that is a ministerial committee that looks into those applications, and we also at MISA analyze the financial statement, analyze the business model to see if this is actually in line with what we are planning to do, and how we can support to provide an incentives that not necessarily financial. It could be, as you said, tax incentives. It could be a tax holiday. But what we'll target in that is to make our economy strategically competitive, and address if there is any cost of doing business related to that investment or to that deal. And we'll definitely look into ways to incentivize and improve the financials of that investment.
So maybe, Rika, we can take 2 more questions if there are, and then we can put our QR code at the end so people can take information or reach us. Please go ahead.
So, there's a quick one. Can individuals start companies in Saudi Arabia if they don't have an already existing business outside Saudi Arabia, which means first-time business?
Yes, simple answer is yes. But I would urge you, I mean, again, we are talking about investment in a different country, in a different region. So when you plan, I mean, without our assistant, you can't go ahead and do that. But what I would advise you to do is go into Invest Saudi, for example, try to get an understanding of the dynamics of the economy, the government plans, and then build onto that and building your successful venture.
And also nowadays it's very easy, you know, coming to the kingdom here. You just need to go and get online visa for many nationalities. And if you're based in GCC, whether you're coming from Kuwait or Qatar or UAE or anywhere, there is also kind of a treatment where if you have a GCC residency in any of these countries, you can easily get into different countries. So it's very much easy, and the process of getting, and it's just in minutes and you get it.
If I can just add here as well, that there are some accelerator programs which people are not aware of, and His Excellency, I'm sure you can elaborate on this, for tech and fintech companies. Saudi Arabia is encouraging new technology and new innovations to come into the country. So there are accelerator programs which help new businesses start up as well.
And the biggest annual conference that happens for founders, startup, and technology companies is in April next year in 2026. It's called LEAP, LEAP.
Yes.
There's one question, and there's somebody who's raised their hands also, but I'll take the question quickly first. How does MISA support the growth of remote and hybrid work in Saudi Arabia in the software and AI industry, especially from foreign startups?
Well, I mean, so when it comes to investments, we look at different investments from different, as I said, different sectors and different investment segments. In fact, just like last week, we launched a study on asset-light investments, and we are trying to find ways to enhance that and look into ways in how we can even expand and ease the regulations to allow more investments from those type of investors. I mean, the details of how and which investment I think this requires a longer discussion. But again, sitting with the right people, with the right entity, is something that we can support you do, and we'll definitely have the right person.
Yes, I mean, as His Excellency said, the Saudi Remote Work Program represents a strategic step in supporting the kingdom's digital transformation. So it's part of their vision 20, and it's part of the vision of the country 2030. So the kingdom does support this with flexible working environment, enabling whether citizens or maybe residents there to do these kind of things. But there is a bit of detailed terms and conditions, but we could explore and we can take it offline.
There's one, Amanullah has raised her hand. So if you could just allow one question from her.
This is
Okay.
Amanullah. I'm based in Bahrain.
First, I would advise you to check our Invest Saudi website and select the sectors that you are interested in, and you will see a list of opportunities that have been identified, and some of them are even associated with a financial model. And if you require an interactive session or with the sector team that is leading the sector and knows best about the sector itself, are aligned with the line entities who operate on that area, I can definitely introduce you to the team as well.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. That's a very valuable information.
Sure. Sure.
I have a question, last question, before we go. My name is Ahmed AlYahya. I'm the CEO of Tiger World Technologies. We are an AI company, very focused on tourism and banks. We do have investors to invest. In fact, we're looking for starting up an operation in Saudi. This is almost 6 months. I think we're struggling to figure out our process of starting the operation there. That is one, and then identifying the place of office, and the third is the market connects. If you could help us, I think we have a fund of almost 5 million to invest across 2 different countries, one being the Saudi.
Definitely. I mean, I'm sure, having also Adil with us on the call, I'm sure they will support you. But we also at MISA will get you to the right. I need to understand the challenge that you are facing, but we'll definitely have our one-stop shop service team guide you through the challenge that you are having, and we're resolving them, of course. And in terms of the tourism and banking, as you mentioned, I can have both sectors. We can conduct a meeting and have both sectors present to also understand from them what's going on those 2 sectors, sure, and how can they support you.
Sure.
Yeah, our team would reach you out and see how we could understand the situation, how we could advise you and give you a recommendation.
Sure. Thank you.
One quick question. What is the MISA license renewal fee? From last year, we are not seeing any fee for it. Is there any policy on that?
There was some reforms which reduced the amount of the initial amount, the initial fee and the renewal fee. If I'm not mistaken, but I need to double check on that. I think that amount have decreased greatly. But let me double check on that. I just don't want to say something that I'm not sure of.
Yeah, last year I paid 62,000 to renew the license. This year, alhamdulillah, exactly, free of cost, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
I just have one question. Whom can I get in touch with for the business opportunities in industrial AI and industrial automation space?
So to help you, I don't want to get you. Since we are here together in the call, I think Adil, you will help the investors here and guide them to us, myself, and I will have the right team sure, meet with you.
Sure. Okay, I think everybody could reach us by now, so they know where to get us in terms of any inquiries or any questions. And we will be glad to help and to guide you go through this experience. And at the end, I would like to thank Your Excellency. thank you, Imran, for joining us, and thanks for everybody who gave the time and contributed in this webinar. And we're looking forward to see you in our upcoming webinar. As I said, next month, November, we will be focusing on the regional headquarter companies program. We go and dive details into that. And in December, we'll talk about the global supply chain resilience initiative, which is one of the national investment strategy of the country. So thank you everyone for joining. It's been great to have you all, and I wish you a good evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Shukran.
Thank you, everyone.